If you have been filling out application after application after application, and you still haven't been able to land at least an interview with a tech company, I'm going to give you about 5 things that you're probably doing wrong on your resume. Hey, what's going on, YouTube family? It is your favorite entrepreneur turned techie, Sierra Nicole, and today we are going to talk about some mistakes that you are probably making right now, and these mistakes are reasons why you're probably not getting any interviews. One thing that I don't want to happen is you keep getting all of these rejection emails saying, hey, sorry, we chose another candidate. Unfortunately, we chose another candidate, right? Hate those emails. And I don't want you to think it's because you're inadequate, because that's not it. First off, the market right now is tough, okay? A lot of people are fighting for these same positions. Now, one of the things that I've seen with a lot of people that I've helped just through my free content, as well as just people I personally know, as well as myself, because if you're familiar with my content, you know that I recently transitioned into tech full time. And so I've been studying this process for a long time. I'm not selling any services or anything about this. I literally just want to give this information because it helped me with landing my role in a software company, and it's also been helping a lot of people that are close to me. And so I want to give you this information. And again, you're probably getting a ton of rejection emails, not because you're inadequate, but because you may not be communicating your skills and experiences in a way that is going to be attractive to these recruiters or to these HR teams. All right. So we're going to talk about the 5 mistakes that you might be making right now on your resume. So let's go ahead and dive into it. We already did enough small talk, okay? Number 1 is your resume is super generic, okay? So if your resume just says, your name and your experience and your skills and that's it, it's not really geared towards any one specific role. That is not the way that you need to go about it in today's market, okay? So what you need to do, and this is going to be super tedious, I know it sucks, but it's just the world that we live in today, okay? You need to be tailoring your resume to each role that you are applying to, okay? If you don't want to do it to each specific application, you at least need to do it to the type of role. So say you're applying for in account executive roles, you're applying for account manager roles, and you're also applying for a data analyst role, right? You shouldn't be using the same exact resume on all 3 of those positions. All 3 of those positions are going to be looking for 3 different things. So you need to go and line out, hey, here is what they're looking for an account executive. What parts of my experience do I need to highlight in order for me to seem like a really good fit? And same thing for all your other roles, okay? So if you're someone who is having a hard time doing this, you can always use ChatGPT to help you. Put in the job description, give ChatGPT your resume and say, hey, how can I tailor this to really speak to this job description so that they can see that I'm a good fit? Number 2, the second mistake that you're probably making right now is that you don't have any keywords in your resume. All right, so I don't want you to just put, very proficient in CRM softwares. No, I want you to name those softwares. So if a company is looking for someone who is proficient in Salesforce, and proficient in HubSpot, proficient in Microsoft 365, you need to have those keywords in your resume. If you're someone who's applying for a project manager position or a scrum master position, and you don't have the word agile on your resume, don't even apply, okay? So you need to make sure that you have certain keywords. So again, ChatGPT is going to be your best friend during this process. Put the job description in ChatGPT, take your resume, put it in ChatGPT and say, hey, take this resume and tailor my bullet points to make sure it includes keywords from the job description. Now, there's a system called ATS, okay? And this is a system that pretty much all recruiters and HR departments use for most companies, whether it's tech or any other company. And it's basically a system where when your resume goes into it, it'll pull out resumes that hit those certain keywords that align with the job description. So the last thing that you want is to be super qualified for a position, but because some computer system wasn't picking up on the things that you put down on your resume, you lose out on that opportunity. So make sure that there are keywords. Very, very important. That's why tailoring to each job description is really going to be helpful for you. The third one is you don't have results-oriented bullet points, okay? Having on your resume that you talk to leads, having on your resume that you were helping customers and clients is just not enough. The reason why a company is hiring you is because you're either going to make them money or you're going to save them money. period. So when they're looking at your resume, they want to see that you're going to make the money or save the money, right? And the only way to determine that is through results. So they want to see the impact and the results that you had in your last positions. So instead of saying, I cold called new leads, I'm going to say I cold called 100 new leads a day that resulted in a, 15% increase in sales per quarter, right? Something that's very like concrete results. Again, ChatGPT can help you do that as well. But you want to make sure that most of your bullet points, doesn't have to be every single one, but like the majority of your bullet points need to be quantifiable. They need to have quantifiable results where someone can say, hey, this person made an impact. They made a 35% decrease in customer churn, right? Or they increased sales by 30% in quarter 3. Like, you need to see that. Maybe you built a book of business that resulted in $3 million worth of sales. Like, you have to have numbers. They want to see the numbers, okay? They say women lie, men lie, numbers do not lie. They care about the numbers. So make sure that you don't just have bullet points talking about the things that you did, but you need to talk about the results and the impact that you had in your previous roles. Number four is pretty similar, but you need to make sure that your bullet points are very specific. So you don't just want super broad bullet points like, oh, I marketed and generated new leads. How did you market? What tactics, what platforms, what channels did you use? So you need to say, I utilized, I'm just kind of going off the top of my head, so, make it sound better than this. But I utilized LinkedIn to do cold outreach, and I was able to generate 10 new leads a day, something like that. So you're being very specific, and it's giving them a little bit of insight of the different strategies you use. So you want to be very, very specific with your different bullet points. That is super important. And number 5, last but not least, you want to make sure that you have soft skills on there as well. Okay. A lot of times, especially when we're getting into the tech field, we think that they just care about us knowing how to code or knowing these different softwares, knowing how to use Salesforce and HubSpot and Jira and all these other softwares. Yes, they care about those things, of course, right? Any job does. But they also care about your soft skills. They care about how you work with teams. Do you have experience working with cross-functional teams? Do you have experience with leading teams? Do you have experience with communication, right? Communicating with different types of people. Are you empathetic, right? Especially like if you're in the sales realm, like you want to include these different soft skills. It's very important to include that in your skills section. For a lot of these companies, company culture is super, super important to them. And so you want to make sure that you're able to communicate on that resume some of the soft skills that you do have, right? Are you a self-starter? Are you ambitious? Include some of those things. They do care about it. They don't only just care about the results, but they also care about the type of person you are. So again, a lot of times if you read, it might not be in the exact job description. Sometimes it is, but if you go to their company website and get a feel for their company culture and the things that are very, very important to them, you can add some qualities that might overlap with you in that company. Make sure you add that on your resume because that's going to stand out. Okay, so enough talking. If you have questions, make sure you're putting them down below in the comment section. I know that this job market is tough, and I know there's so many people trying to get into tech, which again is exactly why I've decided to start making these videos, because throughout my process, I've been trying to land a new role for many, many months, since like March. Okay, I've been trying to transition from marketing for a software company to the sales side. And even bigger picture than that, now I'm working on some other things, which I'll talk about in another video, but learning how to really communicate your skills and communicate the type of person you are and kind of story tell using your resume is very, very helpful when transitioning into any role, whether you're just now breaking into tech or if you're already in a role trying to transition into something else. I hope that this was helpful for you. If you are someone that is looking to network with different people in the industry, make sure you join my free Facebook group called Young in Tech. I'll put the link down below. And if you're someone who is looking to break into the industry, there's a few discounted boot camps inside of the description of this video that might be helpful for you. And again, if you have questions about this, make sure you join my Facebook group and you You can throw questions in there. People are, you know, the members of that group are amazing. There's so many, not only new people, but very seasoned veteran people that are in there giving advice. So make sure you join the group, and you can throw comments, questions, of course, in the comment section as always. And again, this is your favorite entrepreneur turned techie, Sarah Nicole. I'm going to catch you on the next video.